everybody and welcome to the channel Bob Sales This Times Next Year. Hello everybody and welcome to the channel Bob Sales and This Times Next Year. It is good to see you all, I must admit. As you can see, repping the UK flag over here now today. We've got the French Oxor one, now we've got the UK one. So yes, we did go to the MCM ComicCon in London, XL. It was a funny old trip, I must admit. Last minute trip for Bob, I must admit, but it was good fun. So let's talk. So the event itself, let's talk. So Veve wasn't actually attending the event. It was at first, but then they cancelled last minute. So I think this whole event, well, the tiny little event we had, the group gathering, was mainly for people that were going to the event that may have been a bit disappointed that the event was actually cancelled after they bought tickets and stuff. I was one day away from buying tickets before Veve said they cancelled it. So I was one of the lucky ones. Anyway, I was asked to go by Ronnie, Master Ronnie. You've seen him all over the show at the minute. Great Veveverse builder. Met him a few times. But yeah, I was asked to go by Ronnie on Informant's stream. And I said I would go, but then it was a day after we found out that Veve wasn't actually going. So anyway, this one was a bit of a different Veve event, I must admit. It wasn't a Veve event. The MCM itself was absolutely amazing. So they wasn't there. They didn't have a booth there. But the event itself, when I say amazing, I mean amazing. So I went to Decon London XL. I went to the XL for Decon London itself, for the Decon London show. And that was a Veve event. Although there was a lot of people there for Veve, the event itself was really small. It was one room event and it wasn't a 3-day event or 2-day event or whatever it was at the time. This event, however, this was a crazy event. So I knew it was an MCM ComicCon. So it wasn't a Marvel Comic-Con. So it wasn't the big Comic-Con. It's basically like a film franchise's Comic-Con. So it's like a second-hand Comic-Con, if that makes sense. But I expected a second-hand kind of cheaper Comic-Con, if that makes sense. I knew some people would be dressed up, but my God, I was not expecting to see what I see that day. Absolutely crazy. Some of these people were dressed as the Hulk. I see people dressed as Iron Man. I see Terminator. I see Roblox characters. So first off, the event itself, I didn't go to the Friday. I must admit, I went to the Saturday and the Sunday at the event. So as I was saying, when I went to London Decon, the event was one side of the XL. The other event at the time was a tattoo artist event, which is actually where I got my Veve tattoo from. So yeah, it's still up there, loud and proud. But yeah, that's where I got my Veve tattoo from, that event. So this event, this MCM, my God, was this big. You literally went one side of the room, one side of the XL center, and the whole room, I mean, it was massive. I was there for 2 days and I didn't see everything at that event. It was that crazy. Again, but the other side of the room, there was another whole ton of it, the same size. Absolutely crazy. I will show you a video. We'll put it in here. But yeah, the whole event just stretched. There was loads of stuff at the event. Now, the merchandise and stuff at the event, loads of it did vary, but some of it was the same. So there was a lot of wooden swords there. We did try to get one of them, me and the Tasmanian Devil himself. That was quite funny. Me and Ryan as well. So yeah, I really should put Twitter names in here or not say the real names if I can, because I don't know who's okay with that, who's not. But either way, we had a good old time trying to spin for some swords. Bob was determined he was going to get one of these swords so he could fit in with the cosplay people. If I'd have known people were dressed like that, I definitely would have put more effort into my outfit. Although I was wearing them butterfly trousers, so I kind of fit in with the trousers, right? But yeah, it was a good event. So yeah, we spun a lot of times for swords. We didn't win any swords. We did win a Jolteon light. That was supposed to be behind me, but it's not. I'm quite unprepared for this stream, I must admit. I'll learn how to speak in it. I'm quite unprepared for this stream, I must admit. So yeah, it was quite a good event. So the event itself, absolutely amazing. The cosplay was absolutely amazing. And the people there were absolutely amazing. I must admit, I met some of them at Decon, some of them in Oxor. But I knew 80% of people already that was at that event. I'd already met half of them people in real life. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, because it wasn't a Veve event, there was 20 of us, I would say, maximum. So yeah, the show, the MCM event, couldn't have been better. Veve would have definitely fit in there. I definitely have some plans to film more on the next one. This was more of a private event. This was an invitation only kind of event. So yeah, let's talk about the first night. So the first night we went to a Chinese restaurant. I must admit, I don't eat a lot of food, but Chinese is one of my favorite foods, and seaweeds is top of the menu. And all the Veve fam that were there know now that Bob is happy with a plate of seaweed over some greasy ribs. Trust me, they were cracking up. So yeah, the first day at the event was really good. We went to the dinner. Now the dinner was at a Chinese restaurant, a bit of a weird little place. The room was only small, but if you went to the event, you knew there were only 20 people possibly coming to this dinner, so you expected a small room. No point booking a massive hall, right? Anyway, 40 people showed up, so there was a little bit more than what was expected, and the room was a little bit too small. So we got there and we were told we were going to get 2 free drinks, we were going to get some free advertisers, and then after that, it's on us, sort of thing. After the confusion with the drinks, the tables, making some space for everyone to fit in, we actually moved tables out. And then after that, the drinks started flowing, the food just started flowing, and David paid for a lot of it, which was very kind, I must admit. And everyone in the Veve fam now knows that seaweed is Bob's favourite food. So yeah, I sat there eating plate after plate of seaweed, and I'm not even lying. Everyone could tell you that. At the dinner, it was a very special, intimate dinner. It wasn't like every other event. You got close to David. It was just David and Lucas there. Now, Lucas is normally at the events. I've spoke to Lucas a couple of times. I've had a good time with Lucas. Lucas is a really good bloke. And I know what he does do in the background for Veve. He's one of the technical security chiefs, if you like, or on that sort of line. Basically, if you were to steal a logo at one of the events, Lucas is going to be the one that tracks you down. And he will track you down. Just David and Lucas. And it was crazy. It was crazy. David gave a little speech. We all had appetizers, dinners, whatever. We had the Nick Walker t-shirts. I wish I had one on right now, but again, not prepared. It had the special design on there. Apparently, the design's never been used. The little eye logo has never been used before. Special one. And it's the start of a series of t-shirts. But it was branded Nick Walker, Veve, LMX. Great t-shirt. Also, with that t-shirt, you got a little tote bag, a little white silk bag. I wish I had it with me. I was really impressed with the quality of that bag. I'm not going to lie to you. I was really impressed with that. We also got some t-shirts and stuff from David G. We've got an English t-shirt, what you can see I'm wearing now. I actually have one of these from Oxford, exactly the same. And I must say, if you've ever wore Veve clothing, it is actually quality clothing. Every piece of clothing I've ever had from Veve is actually really good quality. And this time we actually got jumpers as well. So that was really cool to see that. Actually wicked to have a jumper and a usable jumper at that. Very comfortable. So yeah, thank you for all that. We also got our Veve logos. Oh, I do have that up here. Let me have a look. I'll try and get it down without knocking all my stuff down. Yes, and we actually got our Veve logos. So there's mine there. bobsales on the front there. Got the date on it. Got David's signature on it. And it's a redemption code for an NFT. At first, when they were first redeemed, I think it was 500 at one point. Then it went down to 300. Then it went down to 200. I think now it's at 160. But again, I am not making this the same mistake I made with the logo. So this one is staying with me. And David, at the event, I know you're going to be laughing at this bit in this video right now because the amount of times you reminded me of that. Absolutely crazy bloke. Absolutely lovely to meet you again, by the way. But yes, David, this one is staying with Bob. It's never being sold. I actually got mint 18 or something like that, so I'm really happy with that. I think it's listed for 999999999, something like that. But yeah, I'm never making that mistake again with the gold logo. So any of these things I get given from now on, I'm keeping all of them. Or David come around to you and personally walked around the room himself. Thank you for coming. It's good to see you again. Here's your card. So yeah, that was an amazing moment. Very nice moment. I didn't film a lot, I must admit. I didn't film any of the Pokemon cards or any of the bobsales slabs I give away or anything like that. But we did give away, I think, 3 slab Pokemon. No, we give away 4 graded slab Pokemon. And we give away 20 of the bobsales sealed Pokemon packs. Anything ranging from £1 to £30 to sealed packs to we even had a couple of Marvel cards in there, some Disney cards in there. So it was great to have a little bit of a mix in there. But everyone that received one, no matter what the value was over the moon with the present. It was just a gesture from me to them. Again, I didn't record any of it. I should have. I didn't even record any bobsales drinks this time. But it was a smaller event. It wasn't that sort of scenario where you could probably sit there in the corner doing that. Although we did have a lot to drink. certain nights, but it wasn't like Oxor, I must admit. A bit more reserved than Oxor. But yeah, it was an amazing time. The second day was more of the same. It was the 100s dinner. So yes, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter say there's not a lot of 100s at the dinner. There wasn't a lot of 100s at the dinner. The dinner was for the 100s that could make the dinner. Other than that, everyone else that was there was just there to attend the celebration, was just there to be at the dinner to help celebrate the victory itself. So Mr. 100, I must admit, congratulations. Marco Lean, I believe your name is on Twitter. But yeah, absolutely lovely bloke. I've got pictures of him. We went on a boat ride. Me, him, Vibesman, I think Brian on Twitter, and then the Manian Devil on Twitter. So yeah, we actually went on a wicked little boat ride down London. I must admit, all the years I've lived here in England, that was the first time seeing the Big Ben, the London Eye, all that sort of stuff, Parliament. Crazy, crazy. And it took 2 Cumbrians, an Englishman, and a Dutchman to get me there. But yeah, absolutely amazing stories and great people. That was one of my best bits of the journey, best bits of the trip, I must admit. That boat ride, we went initially to take our feet off, to take a load of our feet, but I must admit that was one of my favorite bits. So thank you wholeheartedly for that. The next event was the 100 celebration. We see the celebration. It was absolutely crazy dinner. All the dinner was paid for. I wasn't actually invited. I went as a +1. There was a bit of a mix up at the table. So 1 minute I was at this table, then I went to that table, then I was back over this table. But yeah, a bit of a mix up, but it didn't really matter. It was actually a good night. So yeah, we literally had, I think we had steak and stuff like that. It was a funny moment at that one. We were talking about stuff going on. So there was some alpha dropped at the table. I'm not willing to share it here until it comes out. Some things are left at these events. You have to be there in the person. Otherwise, all I can tell you is the announcement that is going to be the big announcement hasn't actually come out yet. But it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. And it's about more getting new users than it is anything else. But yeah, it's a good way to do it. It's a good way to do it. So yeah, there was some alpha dropped at the table. Obviously, none of that was filmed. All of that under a glass of wine or whatever. So we're not going to say any more about that. But there was definitely some alpha. And the big news is not come out yet. Not come out yet. Again, David Yu got us all to sign his menu for a change. So Bob Sales this time next year is actually written on his menu right now. Well, it's got Bob Sales this times next year. I wanted to put the millionaires bits, but I didn't want to take up the whole menu. So I didn't. But yeah, that was a good quality dinner, a good quality moment. So this time next year, hopefully David remembers Bob's name, because every time I go and see David, he always forgets me. Every time, not going to lie. Even Max, one of the homies before, I remember asking David at the Oxor event, we run to the event. I remember asking David, can I have one of these t-shirts? Like, I'm actually sweated from a t-shirt. David's like, do you have a Veve account? Do you have a Veve account? Kind of looks at Max and says, is this okay? Is this okay? And Max is like, you do realize that guy's made Veve content for like 3 years. He's like, it's Bob Sales, man. Give him a t-shirt. So yeah, that was a crazy moment. And then the same event, he kept asking me if I owned the Veve car that was driving around with the logos at the time. So yeah, crazy event. At that dinner, the 100th plaque was announced. I got some wicked pictures of that. And I must admit, I couldn't be a nicer guy. Absolutely nicer guy. Brought me breakfast at one point. If you on Twitter, this guy is 100% every single day playing with his Veve collectibles in AR. And even when we were there at Parliament, basically, he was playing with his AR collectibles. He made me pull my one up on the T-Rex just so I could give him some company. Because, yeah, absolutely amazing, bloke. Absolutely amazing. But, yeah, absolutely lovely plaque, Mr. 100s. He joins, I think what was said at the table was 30, 40 people. So congratulations for that. Absolutely lovely plaque, by the way. Orange Bag Lady got a gold and silver logo. That was a pleasure, I must admit, to meet her. Always wanted to meet her, and she's exactly what she is on the tin. Absolutely cracking girl. So yeah, we met her and her sister. Absolutely lovely people. Obviously, Max and the homies, absolutely lovely people. And then there was a bunch of people what I've met before. Absolutely lovely. Every single person I met, generous, lovely, outgoing, happy, absolutely crazy. So yeah, it was a wicked time. So even though it was a small event, there wasn't a lot of people. There's some alpha dropped, which I think myself will actually help Veve. but we'll get to that when it actually comes out. We did get a logo each. That was pretty cool. We got some jumpers, some merch, some Nick Walker stuff. Again, when it gets to the Lisbon event, that one is actually Veve being at the event. So it's not going to be as close nip as this one. You're probably not going to get all that stuff, every single one of you, like you would at this one. This one was such a little event, 20 to 40 people max at any time. Absolutely crazy. And out of 300 cards, I would say there's 60 of these that are already out in the wild. What happens to the rest of them? We shall see. We shall see. But that one stays with Bob. I even got David to sign my bank card at one point. So that was pretty crazy. Someone has got the picture of David signing my bank card, and I don't know who's got the picture. So if you do have that picture, send me that picture. As you can see, Bob was walking around in his butterfly trousers all day. I must admit, I took enough for 2 days because I was only supposed to be there 2 days. And then the trousers I went to put on the next day were the wrong trousers. They were actually too tight, so I couldn't wear them trousers. I actually threw the trousers away. So that's why so many pictures of me in my butterfly trousers. But yeah, absolutely love my butterfly trousers, so leave my butterfly trousers alone. But yeah, even gave David you a graded Pokemon card. That was absolutely amazing. For some reason, I didn't record much of this stuff. It was more private gathering than anything else. Not really a recordable event. But yeah, I give him a graded Pokemon card. Absolutely lovely guy. It must be, it's probably worth £30 maximum, but it's still a graded Pokemon card. It was a Gem Mint 10, and I believe it was a Volparion, something on them sort of lines. One of them evolutions, anyway. But yeah, he was over the moon with it, held it up in the air, was really happy with that. Absolutely crazy. And he actually gave me a fidge spin just for that reason, just because I was nice to him. And none of that was recorded. It was just one man being nice to you. Because I literally said to him, I was like, you give me a nice jumper and stuff. I was like, I want to give you this. And he was over the moon with it, showed everyone in the room, actually waved it around. Absolutely crazy moment. So yeah, the event itself was amazing. The boat trip itself was amazing. I didn't take a lot of pictures, but I must admit at this event there was Pokemon cards, there was samurai swords, there was wooden swords, wooden cosplay outfits, there was Yu-Gi-Oh cards, there was Tamagotchi, there was a bunch of decent brands, there was Hot Wheels there was all sorts of decent brands there, and I could have spent a fortune there. I didn't take nowhere near as much money as I would have done if I'd have known there'd been Pokemon stuff everywhere. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, from being at that small event, I think that's one of them once in a lifetime events where you get the small moments, small couple of people. Again, the generosity from everyone there is just amazing. So yeah, absolutely amazing. Some of my fun moments, like I said, the boat trip, and one of my other fun ones with the Pokemon bobsales mystery packs I was giving away. I gave one away to my friend who sitting there slagging off Pokemon for about 40 minutes, saying it wasn't his thing. I also slagged off Star Wars for about 40 minutes because it wasn't my thing. Then I produced the Pokemon bobsales card things, and it's just like, I just sat there slagging off Pokemon for 40 minutes, and now you're going to give me a card. My people, Pokemon, little man. But I'm going to keep that. But yeah, his son actually got the graded card out of the pack. So yeah, really happy. And again, just the gratitude they were showing just for a tiny little gift like that. Absolutely amazing. And I may have started or helped started someone else's collecting journey. So yeah, always move it on to the next person. Even the people that received one, I think they were happy to just receive anything, a token of appreciation, a token from me to them to just say thank you for the time, basically. So yeah, the whole event was great. Thank you everyone for having me. Thank you Vibesman for letting me crash at your place. California Comics as well. Absolutely amazing place. Lovely people. Every single one of them. I've got some stories about everyone. Taffy, me and your ride home, mate. Absolutely cracking. So yeah, absolutely amazing time. Absolutely amazing time. And as always, the thing you take from these events, the best thing about Veve is always the people. You will never find people like the Veve fam we have here. No matter how small the event was, it just didn't matter. The Veve people just made up for it in drones. Absolutely lovely, wonderful moments. Orange Bag Lady crying when she got her logo. Absolutely sweetest moment. Everyone in the room was just like, oh, you could hear it in the background of the video. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, I did take some pictures. I did take some shorts. I didn't do any drinking shorts. That was a bad mistake. Should have done them. I'll definitely do them next time. But there will definitely be a next time. But it was a rushed trip. Was a bit of a rushed whole situation with this one. But again, for what it was absolutely amazing. Even though it was a small event, tiny rooms at some point, but absolutely amazing. It did the job. So yeah, thank you everyone for having me. Thank you everyone for having me. Everyone for sharing your generosity with me, your kindness, your sweet moments, your family moments. Absolutely great. So anyway, I've been your host, Bob Sales. This time next year, we will be millionaires. Peace. Doosh.
There is one more thing. It's been emotional.